Can Justin Fields be the Jets' franchise quarterback? Reports out of training camp suggest that the Jets' new $40 million quarterback has been struggling at times. There are even reports that at one point he was 15 for 42 passing over the course of three padded practices. I've followed Fields' career all the way back since he was 17 years old, and he appeared on a documentary titled QB1. I followed him to Georgia and watched every game he played at Ohio State. He was then drafted by my favorite team, the Chicago Bears. And while things didn't work out, I studied his game and watched about as much film on Justin as anybody in the media or on YouTube. Today, I want to talk about his chances of becoming a franchise quarterback for the Jets and getting his career back on track. Talent has never been an issue with Justin. He can run as well as any QB not named Michael Vick or Lamar Jackson. His issues have mostly been with accuracy throwing the football and turning the ball over. He also tends to hold the football too long, something that you can say about most mobile quarterbacks. However, the arm talent is there, and he's made some incredible throws, but there are issues. His career completion percentage is just 61.1%. And he takes a sack nearly 12% of the time, which is about three times higher than the best quarterbacks in the league. You simply cannot have much success taking that many sacks. On top of that, in 44 career starts, Justin has fumbled the ball 44 times, once per game. Simply not good enough. But honestly, he was never really given a fair shot in the NFL. Last year, he was playing his best football in Pittsburgh, leading the Steelers to a 4-2 record. He had 10 total TDs and one interception in those 6 games. He threw 5 of those TDs and rushed for 5 more. He had a 65.8% completion rate, the best of his career, and he was also taking career low sack percentage, and it was the first time he was ever on a winning team. And for that, he got benched for Russell Wilson for the rest of the season. To make matters worse, the situation he was put in during his first 3 years in the NFL with the Bears was an absolute disaster. The malpractice from Matt Nagy and Luke Getsy was enough to ruin any young quarterback prospect. They misused him, they didn't protect him, they didn't prepare him to play, and they simply never put him in a position to succeed. His rookie season, he was supposed to learn behind veteran Andy Dalton. Matt Nagy would spend training camp not preparing this guy to start and not giving him any reps with the first team. But then, boom, week 2, Justin was thrown to the Wolves, even though we had Nick Foles on the roster as well, and he got sacked a record-breaking 9 times, including 4.5 times for Myles Garrett alone. His first start was a microcosm of how his first 3 years in Chicago would play out. After what he was put through as a rookie, Justin then had to get a new GM, a new head coach, and new offensive coordinator in year 2. And it's not like those guys did him any favors. The guys who were brought in were Matt Eberflus and Luke Getsy. And instead of building an offense around Justin Fields, Getsy tried to turn Justin Fields into Aaron Rodgers. He changed his footwork, changed his mechanics, and put him in a playbook that he brought over from Green Bay that he never even called plays in himself. Getsy was not some guru. He never even called plays in Green Bay. Yet instead of trying to put Justin in a system that maximized his talents, he tried to change him into someone he's not. Those are signs of a bad coach, if you ask me. On top of what was happening with the coaching staff, Bears' new general manager, Ryan Poles, was tearing down the roster and preparing for a rebuild. He traded away Khalil Mack, Roquan Smith, and Robert Quinn, the 3 best players on that defense, and then released or let 9 other starters leave during free agency. The Bears also would lose Allen Robinson, James Daniels, Akeem Hicks, Bilal Nichols, Eddie Goldman, Danny Trevathan, and more. The big free agent signings that were supposed to come in and help Justin were wide receivers Byron Pringle and Dante Pettis, and a guy like Lucas Patrick on the O-line. The bottom line was pretty simple. Justin Fields was not put in a position to succeed during his first 2 years in Chicago. Year 3, the dynamic finally started to shift. Ryan Poles traded away the number one pick and he brought in DJ Moore, the first legit playmaker that Justin got to play with. The Bears also drafted Darnell Wright in the first round, giving the Bears some much needed O line help as well, and started spending in free agency. 2023 looked positive for the Bears, but Luke Getsy's offense was never a fit for Justin's talent. And after they landed the number one pick again, thanks to the Carolina Panthers, the Bears would bring in a new offense and a new quarterback. But the flashes were there. Justin Fields to DJ Moore was the number one rated QB wide receiver combo in the entire NFL in 2023, beating out Joe Burrow to Jamar Chase and every other duo in the league. But Justin's time in Chicago was over. He got traded to Pittsburgh and again didn't receive the support he needed. Fields showed promise early that season, starting 6 games and going 4-2, but he ended up handing the job over to Russell Wilson. As someone who watched every snap Justin played in Chicago, I saw a lot of growth early in the season when he got to start for the Steelers. Justin would leave Pittsburgh and sign a $40 million free agent deal to be the answer at quarterback for the Jets. Here, he's reunited with college teammate wide receiver Garrett Wilson, and he has other playmakers on offense, like Breece Hall, to form a dynamic backfield partner with. Justin may finally be in a position where the team believes in him and given a chance to succeed. Despite the lack of support, Justin still was able to set a lot of records, both for the Chicago Bears and NFL records, including setting the NFL record for most rushing yards by a quarterback in a single game. He became the only player in NFL history to both pass and rush for 2 TDs and have 100 yards rushing in the same game. He was only the third QB in NFL history to rush for 1,000 yards in a season, joining Michael Vick and Lamar Jackson. He was the fourth player ever with a 50-yard rushing TD and 50-yard passing TD in the same game, joining Lamar Jackson, Cam Newton, and Ace Parker. He has the most rushing yards over a 5-game span by any QB in NFL history. He holds multiple Chicago Bears records, including longest rushing TD, most rushing yards by a quarterback in the single season, and plenty of others. He was the first Bears QB to ever rush for 100-plus yards in back-to-back games or run for 1,000 yards. He was also the first QB in Bears history to have a perfect half of passing, going 16 for 16 against the Broncos in the first half of a game. Justin has consistently gotten better and better at the NFL level. He's improved at reading defenses, avoiding blitzes, and keeping his eyes downfield. He's getting better at learning when to run and when to throw, but the most important metric is Justin has become a better passer at the NFL level. His issue has been staying on the field consistently, as he's been getting injured or benched every other season of his career. But look at Justin Fields' last 17 starts. If you put those together, 17 games in a season, these are Justin's stats over his last 17 starts. He threw for 3,241 passing yards, had 854 rushing yards, totaling over 4,000 total yards, 19 passing touchdowns, 8 rushing touchdowns to just 7 interceptions, 27-7 TD to interception ratio, 63.7% completion percentage, and a QB rating of 89.69. Looking at these numbers, if Fields could stay healthy and produce even close to the level he has over his last 17 starts, this should be a win for the New York Jets. He has a unique combination of rushing talent with a big-time arm. He's shown flashes of greatness, and he's already etched his name in the record books. He just turned 26 years old, and if he can stay healthy and put it all together, I believe he could be the franchise quarterback that the New York Jets have been searching for the last 30-plus years. They've drafted so many quarterback busts that have went on to have success elsewhere. Recent examples of that include both Geno Smith and Sam Darnold. Both were first-round picks by the Jets, who went on to have more success after leaving New York. If Zach Wilson ends up having success later in his career as well, it'll make things even worse. But Justin Fields is a prime example of a player who can do the same thing, but this time for New York. I believe that Fields has the talent to fix the QB position in New York. Will he get that chance? That's something we'll find out. but NFL history is not favorable to QBs looking to find their groove with their third team in the league. Even Sam Darnold and Geno Smith, after having tons of success with their new teams, still watch those teams move on and draft other quarterbacks. A lot of times, QBs get signed up in free agency only to watch the team that signed them draft a quarterback very high. Just look what happened to Kirk Cousins last year in Atlanta. But it doesn't mean they still couldn't add another QB via trade. The Jets could still be in the QB market next offseason, but maybe, just maybe, they'll end up giving Justin their full support. At least for the next 2 years, what could it hurt? He can't be any worse than Zach Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Tim Boyle, Bryce Petty, and Sam Darnold have been for the last decade. I'm excited to see how things play out in New York. What is your guys' belief level in Justin Fields? Let me know in the comments. Hit that like button for me and stay tuned for more year-round NFL coverage.